Welcome back. This is Communication Man, aka Alexander. It's been a long time, 3 months, and I have not been able to create a video. Now I've had a lot of things in the pipeline, but some important things have changed in my personal life, and I have my son full custody, full time now, and I've needed to change a lot of energy into securing financial resources. So one of the most important things that you can do in life is reprioritize things that are going on in your life. So this video request actually came from a subscriber. And what I would like you to do, if you have any ideas or things that are hard for you, comment in the suggestion box something that you would like to see in a future video. And I might be able to incorporate that and create a video for it to help you. So this video, someone was asking about like how to be consistent and how to stay consistent, and that's what we're going to talk about. So the point is, as you can very clearly see, is you can't be consistent in everything. And that's something very important to distinguish. A lot of people do not understand this, and it's very, very, very important to concrete this inside your mind that you can't be consistent in everything, because it will free you. My question for you is, why is it so hard to stay motivated? That's the question I'm going to answer, but I want you to think about that. Why do you think it's so hard to start a New Year's resolution and not finish it? So I think it's fitting because we're at the beginning of 2020, and a lot of people have hopes and expectations for this year, and there's a part of them that secretly doubts it because they know, well, I did this last year and the year before that and didn't quite hit my goal or target. And I'm going to ask you to think a little deeper of how to actually accomplish something really important to you. And we're going to go in deeper as why most people don't accomplish it. Subscribe now for new video content, and also comment on things that you would like to see. Energy is slow. Think about energy as a form of currency. And given every day, you start with, let's say, $800. In that day, that $800 has to be spent carefully. And let's assume a portion of that is going to your power bill, your food, your housing, all those types of things. And by the time you're done, you have to decide if you've spent it well or if you've spent it poorly. So how you can spend it well is you still have some money left over. If you've spent it poorly, you're negative, you feel like you've gone in debt, and that's when you're staying up later than you should, you're not resting enough, you're eating poorly because you're tired, you're not making good choices, and then the next day it starts to bleed into itself. So one of the most important things is less energy is given to us the more our day is used up. So the currency I'm speaking about is the amount of energy we have from the sleep we had from the night before. So every day you wake up with a limited amount of currency, and unlike money, which you can multiply, you can get more of it through leverage, you can't get more energy. You can only lose it carefully. So if you think about every day, I only have so much energy I can lose, then you start to think, whoa, I got to prioritize, because I'm going to drain the cell phone battery out of my own body, and then I'm going to have to recharge it. So interesting enough is a picture just popped up and you see all these different clocks. Well, I like the picture of all these like clocks spinning around because you are that center clock. That's your energy. That's the only thing you control. And then everybody around you, they have their energy, and it's all clicking down from the very morning, from when we start. So if you see that picture that just popped up, there's like a guy squishing his face and he looks stressed and he's kind of like too many decisions, right? He's overwhelmed. That's one of the things that happens when we do not understand how to properly manage our energy. So there's a funny picture that just popped up, and there's a million boxes on this little carriage, and this donkey is being lifted up. And the caption says, "Sure, I can handle this load, no problem." Overwhelmed, right? But the funny thing is, the donkey, of course, cannot handle this well. overload of boxes. And a lot of people are like this poor donkey where we say yes to too many things, too many projects, too many people, and too many goals. And what happens is we do a horrible job on pretty much all of those things. And at the very best, we do an okay job on some of those things. So the point is, if you look at the picture there's a fourth picture that just popped up, and it says each and every step you must take to move towards your goal. All right. So there's one ladder, and it looks like it's going all the way up into the sky. So I like this picture. I chose this picture in particular because it looks scary to climb all the way up to that ladder. Like, wow, it's a really high climb. Now, the reason I chose it is, think about if you got on this ladder and you put one hand up in front of the other, the higher you go up, the more risk and the more danger there is, okay? So that's how our goals are. The more energy and the more focus you put into it, there's more risk and danger, in the sense that you might have chosen the wrong ladder to climb, and you get up there and you realize, oh no, I've wasted so much of my life and my time. And the thing is, think about if you're like halfway up and you change your direction. You go, well, you know what, I instead of working on my fitness, I want to work on my financial goals, and you just jump off that ladder. Well, you could fall and die, right? Because you could go from one extreme to the other extreme, and like you keep jumping and jumping, and that eventually will lead to some type of depression or suicidal thoughts or frustration. And it doesn't have to be an actual death. Okay, it could be the death of the dream, the death of the goal, and eventually you never really go anywhere. And you're like a boat just floating in the ocean. You're never getting to an actual destination. And so that's why I chose that picture. If you have to be singularly focused, and once you've achieved one goal, then go to the next. But when you try to do too many things at one time, you're putting yourself at extremely high risk for failure, danger, and the death emotionally, and eventually you can lose that spark, what gives you life, because you feel down. So there's a funny picture. There's a lady, she's like, so many choices, so little time. Like, she looks like she's in a scary movie with her anxiety and her eyes completely wide open. So what's going on is we have all these wonderful options on YouTube. There's so many great videos you can watch, and there's also many terrible videos you can watch, and many videos that aren't bad or good. They're just neutral, but they're wasting your time. So the energy thing we were talking about, that clock, it's winding down. All right. So there's let's just say, for argument's sake, you're not watching the dumb videos. You're not watching neutral videos like the cat videos that are cute, but they don't really provide much value for your life. And you are focusing 80 to 90% of your time, because no one's a human, no one's perfect, right? Like, there's going to be some time we goof off, but 80 to 90% of your time on things that are healthy for you, that are getting you towards the goal you want to go, they're helping you climb that ladder. So what happens is, what out of those 80%, you might be focusing on all these wonderful choices, but it still could be not laser focused enough. And that's kind of the point of this. There's too many choices and there's so little time. So if you look at the next picture that popped up, it says possibilities, and there's arrows pointing left, right, up, down, central, everywhere. Okay, so in this wonderful age of information, we have so many chances for new opportunities. Okay, but the problem is, with all these choices, these millions and millions and millions and millions and just billions of options we have, it's so easy to distract ourselves and fail. So where we fail is the information overload. Okay, so everything that you come across, every thumbnail on YouTube, every email that's in your inbox, every text message, every phone call, it's going to pull you in a direction. So there's a picture of a guy who's standing up, and 360 degrees around him are just arrows. Those are choices that can take us in different directions. So reading one email could lead to another email, which could lead to another email, and you might be like deleting spam or deleting things, but you're wasting a lot of time. So one of the most important things is go through your email and unsubscribe from things that are kind of not important, little coupons or things that you don't really need, but they take mental energy, and it's like a sliver of your energy. And it's like you have a mountain of sand, and you think, well, it's just a couple pieces of sand. But before you know it, those couple pieces of sand becomes the whole mountain, and then you're flat, and you have no energy left, and you're dead. You're emotionally fatigued. Your brain is tired, and it can't make any more choices. You have to sleep. And when you start to get headaches and that kind of terrible discomfort, it's usually because you've depleted your energy. So The important thing is, did you use that currency of energy for something that's going to help give you more energy in the future? So that's what I've been focusing on for the last few months, and will continue to focus on this year. And the reason I bring that up is I'm going to create videos when I can. I have lots of ideas and when they spark, but it's to help you also. If you're dealing with like trying to figure out what's the most important thing to do with my life, my time, you have to put the most important thing first. Okay, so there's a picture that popped up and it's all these different doors. Okay, there's one door, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 doors on the left. On the right there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it looks like there's even more on the right. So as you're going through life, there's going to be an opportunity that's going to pop up, and then there's going to be another opportunity that pops up, and then another one, and another one, another one, and you might think, well, this is a good one, and then, well, that one could be better, and you might jump to that one. And then here's the thing: if you keep jumping and jumping and jumping and jumping, eventually you're not going to get anywhere. Just like the original topic, like I explained, in the boat that's floating on the ocean, it doesn't really have it's not going to go anywhere that it should go, because there's too many choices. All right, so what my point is, if you're going to basically like the Facebook engineers and the people who are at the top, the leadership. I was reading this book about how the Zuckerberg family of ideas and the CEOs and the leadership that like govern the stock board. What they do is, for the creative side of Facebook, they say, what's our 30-year goal? Okay, so think about our 30-year, and then how can we get there in the next 6 months? Like, what can we do to get there faster? So your most important goal should somehow be, how do I get more energy in the day? Okay, remember, you can't get more money, literally. I mean, you can't get more time, right? But you can get more energy through basically, like, if you put finances as the number one. Well, finances, if you can figure out a way to get your money stronger, it can buy you more energy back, which is someone else cleans your house, someone else cooks your food, someone else shops for your food. And so all those things, you have to trade some energy for that. So what you have to figure out how to do is, how do I compound my energy? So if someone else can do those things, now all the energy that you were taking, like running around, shopping around, doing all these things, now you can just use that to go to the gym, right? So it's really hard if you say, oh, I want to have really good money and financial goals, but I also want to have really good fitness. And your time is divided between that. Plus, if you have children, you have to watch them, you have to pick them up, you have to drive them places, you have to pick them up from places. And also with your jobs or businesses, you have meetings, you have products you need to sell, market, advertise. All those things suck up your energy, right? So the most important thing is, take a list of all the goals you have, and the top one that's going to give you the most energy back should be the number one goal. And then ignore all the other goals and put all your energy to one, because energy is slow. You don't have a lot of it, and energy is something you can't get more of without basically purchasing energy from other people. The leverage concept. So basically, this is to help motivate you. If you're feeling overwhelmed, or you're thinking, well, how do I accomplish a goal? Stop chasing too many squirrels, okay? Stop chasing too many paths, okay? Too many mountains of gold. Chase one thing that's the most important thing to you, and then once you've achieved that, then go to the next one. To end this video, I've actually changed the format. I'm going to do something now called a 10-second takeaway. Instead of a conversation starter, I think this is better. I think this is more effective and will help more people. So comment below what topic you would like help with. If there's something that you would like help with communication-wise or life-wise, and that can be weaved into a video, comment below. And if you like this video or have any comments, just feel free to mention something below. So subscribe now. I'd love to have you in the feed to be able to help give you more value and more power for your life. All right, so the 10-second takeaway. All right, so these videos come when I have a spark or an idea, and then I share it with you. So here's the rhyme I created to help make this applicable to your life. All right, so 10 seconds, here you go. Many roads lead to overload. One route helps me break out. So many roads leads to overload. One route helps me break out. Okay, so remind yourself, when you're getting overwhelmed, when you're frustrated, when you're confused, or like, you're pulling your hair out, you're like, why can't I succeed? Why am I not going as fast as I want to go? Probably because you're on too many pathways, and you're watching too many videos, but you're not taking enough action. You're not focusing enough. Okay, so many roads leads to overload. One route helps me breakout. Say it again to yourself. Say it out loud. Say it in your head if you can't say it out loud. And just remind yourself, many roads lead to overload. One route helps me break out. What is it again? What is it again? Our 10-second takeaway is many roads leads to overload. One route helps me break out. All right. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time.